Oh, the economic elephant in the room. The war on drugs. It continues. Everyone hates it. The cops hate it. Well, mostly the cops hate it on the ground level, realizing the massive amount of hypocrisy that it represents. Unless, of course, they are part of the unwashed, brainwashed masses. The war on drugs continues unabated. I did a video last week about some real just scumbag cops in Philadelphia harassing random minorities on their way to work because they said hi to a guy in a crime-ridden neighborhood, thereby perpetuating the communal problems with them. But the war on drugs, why won't anyone touch it as the states one by one keep ratifying marijuana laws, but why won't the federal government touch the elephant in the room, the war on drugs? We got more elephants in the room. Don't get me wrong. Why won't they touch it? And why won't anybody finally say, this is fucking nuts, man? We're sending SWAT teams all over. It's destroying cities. Totally destroying. We're making drugs more expensive, thereby making the drug trade more profitable, thereby recruiting more people into the drug trade. And it's an awful, awful, awful vicious circle. Nobody wins. And it's just this gigantic hamster wheel of drug war economics that the governmental system in the United States has figured out a way to tap in to vice. There's always been an interest in controlling vice because anything that people want to do all the time is going to be some money in it, and if you can make it illegal, then you can make tons of money in it and score off of both sides. But the reason there's no big movement to get rid of the war on drugs is that if we get rid of the war on drugs, what's going to happen is we're going to throw millions of people into the unemployment lines instantly. If we just say next week, it's like the war on drugs, it was the fucking worst idea of all time. Like some asshole back in the 30s, like convinced everyone that jazz musicians were like gonna have threesomes with their lily white daughters, and everyone was like, "Whoa, jazz musician have a threesome with my lily white daughter! Oh, do anything you want to, legislate the hell out of freedom." And so they came up with the war on marijuana in the 30s, going back to reefer madness. But it's always been about how they can make money. And there's another side, ancillary issue that comes up with it. It was also promoted by the DuPont family, and one of their things is to get hemp out of the market so they could put their synthetic ropes to use. But the war on drugs, everyone can almost unanimously agree, is total failure. Destroyed America, destroyed like the relationship the government had with the citizenry. Destroy. But no one's going to hit it because how many millions of prison guards, local police units, the vast amount of money that the legal industry makes off of petty drug offenses from offenders, you'll hear politicians around here say, "Oh, well, it's a tiny offense. It's a misdemeanor offense to be busted for marijuana," even though they give like tons of tickets for marijuana. Why? Because they need to make money off this somehow. You can't have people doing something upon their own accord with something that just comes from the earth without us getting into that and getting some advantage and getting a little bit from that behavior that they take part in of their own free will, that no one has to provide them with anything. It's just they're not going to get rid of all these people because they don't know what to do with all the prison guards, all the private prisons they've built, because they're going to be instantly unemployed. And so I say, put them all to work. Number one, transition them into a different economy. Get these people training on how to do things like create green and renewable fuels, how to make solar panels, how to do a number of things that need to be done, how to work on the electrical grid. I mean, how there's so many things that the people who are working in the prison industrial complex today, mostly just Joe Schmoes who are going to a job to do that job, not some sort of grand evil wizards of the prison industrial complex experience. I've had people I've known who've worked in prisons and jails. They're not bad people intrinsically. Some people are, some people aren't, yada yada. That's not what we're talking about here. What we're talking about is what we're going to do with all these people, because no one's going to get rid of the war on drugs, which is basically the war on inner city non-white populations, and it's also a war on white populations. If you live in an inner city with a high, in a white area with a high poverty propensity, you're going to see a lot more cops and a lot more brutal behavior and a lot more adversarialism by government representatives, as opposed to places where you've got a lot higher incomes. So put prison workers, help get them skilled. Number one, this should be a transition. Obviously, we've got the money to pay them to be prison guards or whatever position they hold within the prison industrial military oppression complex, whatever you want to call it. We've got the money to pay them now, so therefore we should be able to have the money to pay them tuition in order to get skills to do something besides putting human beings in cages and keeping a lid on the whole experiment. So, what do you think? Do you have any ideas on the subject? Am I right? Am I wrong? Give me some feedback. TYT Nation, I appreciate you for watching. I appreciate everyone for watching. Everyone at the Facebook page, you can get there through, if you go to thedavidsparks.com, you can find it. Or if you send me a message, whatever, yada, we like that. My name's David Sparks. I think you are awesome. Have a nice day. Sayonara.